Welcome back to We Care a Lot. I'm half the podcast, Mel.
And I'm the other half, Sam.
Hey.
I was literally going to say glow up or get out.
Dude, same.
And I think it's because I just talked to I was telling you that we both have been getting letters in the mail about some alumni association shit. And I finally called this morning because they sent me another one. And I was like, oh my God, fine. I'll confirm my fucking identity even though you've sent me a million letters. Not really reading the postcard. Turns out it's like a whole thing. And
it's a whole thing.
Long story short, they asked me, they were like, so your most recent employment we have here is co-host of Glow Up or Get Out.
What?
I laughed. I was
Where
like,
did that come from?
LinkedIn is my guess. Like, they just took from LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
We've rebranded.
I know. I literally was like, I mean, it's probably going to change soon. And that's like not really like my job. It's more like a hobby.
Oh my God. Not yet, anyway.
I know. And he was just like, oh my gosh, for sure. Okay, yeah. And I was like, I mean, if you want to put the title as that, but I work like freelance marketing is more so my vibe there. And he was like, okay, yeah. Anyways, so maybe that's why Glow Up or Get Out is top of mind. I can't even think that was our name. Like, doesn't feel.
Yeah, no, I think there's
real.
only been like one other time that I've like felt like as I'm saying like welcome back, I'm like it's in your head and like I'm gonna say it. Never mind. But yeah.
At the beginning for sure too.
Yeah,
like the first
it felt
second
weird.
episode, it was like
it felt weird. But anyway, we're good with We Care a Lot. I always have like people who talk about my like the podcast, like they'll be like, yeah, and you care a lot, or
Stop
they'll be like,
it.
we care a lot, and I'm like,
they do not.
I go, it's great.
It's not even a bad thing. It's just like I don't know what to say to that.
Like, and sometimes I don't even catch the fact that like
they're trying to reference
the podcast, and I'm like, I probably like stupid that I don't know what the fuck you're referencing.
They're like, hello, the thing you dedicate a lot of time to. And you're like, right.
But yeah, anyway, moving on. I'm sure you know the title of this episode. We're going to talk a little bit about boredom. Everyone remembers the TikTok trend of
TikTok
the
trend
2020.
I'm like, am I not everyone? What trend?
The bored in the house.
Oh, in the house, bored.
Yeah.
Okay. The COVID. Yeah.
That's what just made me think of that. But anyway, I think okay, let's talk about that in specific. Like I think that's why COVID was such a let's just get into the fact of like, do we think it's necessary?
Yes.
Absolutely, right?
Right. I think it's not even a question, but we're posing it as a question because maybe there's some skeptical people out there that are like under the impression that they need to be go all the time, which I think our generation is very much like, no. But there's also the flip side of being a little too bored. You know what I mean?
Right. But I honestly don't even believe that like boredom exists anymore because I think we're in constant distraction.
Okay. Yeah.
And by that, I mean, there's always a screen in our face.
Maybe like
there's always something to be doing because if you're not on TikTok, then all of the things that TikTok or the social media platforms have influenced you to do, it's still like you're not bored.
I think it's really difficult to be bored as an adult. Kids will still say it because they're children. But like maybe it's more so like loneliness rather than boredom.
What do you mean? Like that's what we're experiencing?
Yeah. You're experiencing loneliness, not boredom. Because there's so many things to distract us. You're just feeling a little like, I want something to distract me that isn't pointless, I guess, or seen as pointless, like social media, doom scrolling, literally all the things that the generation above us talk shit on for us doing, or like watching YouTube. And I'm like, fair, yeah. Sometimes when I'm sitting down by myself alone with my thoughts, it's a lot easier to scroll on Instagram or Pinterest. Yeah. 100% easier.
Overall, like I think the thing with I don't even think it's like being an adult. I think it's just the age that we're in right now where with the amount of technology and also just the influence that social media has on each person, there's always something to distract yourself with. The true boredom doesn't exist anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think that it does. Unless you're like out in the woods and you're purposefully like trying to be bored.
Yeah, I think if there's like some intention.
Yeah.
you could be bored. Like, intentionally bored is an interesting thing to say, but I mean, if you're being intentionally bored, I think it's a good thing. Or like intentionally alone, which thus may create loneliness or feelings of loneliness. It's also healthy and fine. I feel like we are, at least this podcast lately, we've been talking a lot about like community, being with people, blah blah blah, like how great it is, but also there is that flip side of like
needing to be by yourself,
because we are victims of validation, quite literally. Like anything that I say to not literally anything, but a lot of things I say to people that are like, ooh, I don't know, should I say it like this, should I say it like that, or should I post this, like that? It's like a constant battle for like, I don't know, what do you think, like, should I use that song for the like, or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, just fucking pick, like, be I don't know, I catch myself like,
be in your originality, you know what I mean?
And I'm like, do you think I should add a heart at the end of this sentence? Girl. It's like, bitch, just put the heart. You know what I mean?
If you're asking, just do it.
Right.
Just do it.
You're thinking of it, it's you do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think there's that flip side of girlhood. Like, there's still some individuality in our girlhood of it being about me.
Absolutely. I was going to talk on a little bit on like how, because we were talking about being like intentionally bored right now, but like I think it became so unintentionally that we had to be bored during COVID. And I think that's why a lot of people, like, of course the whole situation of the actual disease was a terrible thing, but when people reflect back on being quarantined and being at home during COVID, that is like that's the piece, that's the shift. It was the boredom that it brought, and like the being forced to be bored brought up a lot of creativity for people and a lot of like wholesome feelings again.
I was gonna say it either brought out the worst in you or the best. Like,
but I think even the worst of you,
well, it's for the better anyway.
It's for the
like, imagine you lived with someone who's not not your forever person, and now you're locked up in a room together for hours. You live in a small apartment. I don't know what your situation was. But like, can you just imagine, y'all ain't gonna get along all this. It's like forcing us to face
the things
because there's no distraction.
The distractions weren't, I mean, there were still distractions, but, and I mean, there's also that piece where like everyone like then discovered TikTok to a max, alcohol. But for the most part, like, people were needing to get creative of like, how am I going to spend my time? Because I'm like, I can't be in the house like 24/7 just being on TikTok. Yeah, literally. Or drinking alcohol for fucking 5 days
like, I guess straight. I'll be mindful. I guess I'll pick up a good habit.
I guess I'll go and take a walk. I guess I'll start working out or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's, I did see this like one thing though that like I think sparked this up for me, where this girl had made like this very like vibey video of like her in a lake, anyway, but it was like a bunch of trees. It was beautiful. It's a beautiful video.
Okay.
But I guess I don't know if it's like in her own words, but I think so. It was like she was kind of like poetry spitting.
I love the poetry spit.
But she was talking about how there's like, I guess her friend told her about this study about how some scientists had injected adrenaline in the redwood trees.
Yeah.
And basically those trees ended up dying after a year, which like they had been around for a long time. And the study basically just showed that like without having a winter period, in our case, a boredom period, things die quicker. Things creatively die quicker. Things like they just die. Like the magic is gone, because without boredom, without the hard time, without a break,
the slowness. Yeah,
without the slowest of life, like there's nothing to emerge. There's nothing to emerge.
I mean, you just have to think of like your life on a treadmill, like never getting off. Ew.
That sounds disgusting.
I need a break. 12 through 30 for the rest of my life. I will not be doing that.
Yeah. But I thought that was such a beautiful, like, interesting story. And it really sparked me to think, like, have I been bored enough in my current, like, life? And I think my answer is no. I think I constantly try to distract myself with, it's either, like, the next thing to do, or, like, my to-do list, or, like, literally TikTok, or it's, like, I mean, to each their own, but I even think that, like, reading a book it's a distraction of sorts. So it's like I haven't truly been bored, I think, since I was a child, to be honest.
Not even like high school, college.
Maybe high school. Yeah,
I'm trying to think, like college.
Maybe even.
I mean, different phases of life. Maybe I don't know. I think that's also part of it. Maybe is some phases of life are less boring.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. Which doesn't mean it's a good thing. Like if you're noticing that you're craving the boredom or alone time, loneliness, whatever we want to call it, then you can address it. But also if you're like, it's just my life. Like I'm moving fast, but also I acknowledge I can't do this forever. Like I do at some point need to slow
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess that's like just a reminder for you if anyone's listening and you're like, yeah, I've been moving really fast lately. Like I genuinely can't remember the last time I was bored.
What's something you want to do that's like boring? Like literally just sit in a room?
Yeah. Like I just want to sit.
Just want to like look at a fire.
That's
watch
nice.
a little fire pit. Just sit there and look.
Like
go to the beach.
Go to the beach and just sit down.
And just sit.
Because like I even think like if I do plan a day for myself, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the beach and I'm gonna go sit, and I'm like, but I'm gonna journal and I'm gonna meditate and I'm gonna fucking read my book finally, and I'm like, okay, but you're still fucking doing things.
To be fair though, like journaling and meditating is great. Is being with yourself. You know what I mean? But like it's not bad.
But I think maybe meditation is not the right thing, because I think meditation can be a form of boredom in a sense, because you're just sitting with your thoughts, and I think that's fine. But I think even the journaling part, I think that's
it depends on what you're journaling about. Maybe like if you're doing prompts,
then like
it's a little more reflective,
it's a little more like step by step kind of thing, versus like if you're just writing to write. And I think that's like my biggest point of like boredom is necessary, of like without boredom, like creativity really just doesn't exist anymore. I think like with all the distractions that are in our like fucking face all the time, we're like slowly, but like it's not even like in your face about it, but like we're subtly just like regurgitating the same shit to one another because that's all we fucking know.
I mean, it's really, it hits me when it's like, oh yeah, I've seen that TikTok, or like someone
literally,
it's like
and I'm like, oh my god, we're too.
I muted myself for a second. Yeah, we're like literally just two on the internet.
Turn it, no?
Chronically online. Oh my god, have I been backwards this whole time?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oop. Well, she might sound better now.
I'm sorry if I sounded like shit. I apparently forgot. Oh my god, why am I so loud?
Maybe you should flip it.
Maybe I should leave it like that. I mean, I sounded fine when we looked at it.
Yeah, it's true.
Like literally, why am I so loud? Already screaming.
Yours is nearer than mine, so maybe that's what it is. Mine's just a little bit she's a little bit tired.
I don't know, you guys. Let me know if I should flip it this way. I talk a lot louder apparently. God, she's sensitive. Yeah. Okay, I'm turning it back the other way. Okay. If it's really bad, my apologies, but we'll fix it next time.
We'll fix it later.
Anyways. Yeah, I think being bored for me, it's not like prevalent because I still use my phone a lot, or like put on a movie or put on a show, or like am scrolling Pinterest. Like I catch myself, like it's really hard to just lay in bed and like listen to like a meditating whatever, or like not read. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be literally every night you need to be bored.
No.
That's ridiculous. But yeah, I'm like mostly bored if I like go to the beach alone. Just like looking around. People do some crazy things at the beach, I gotta say. Not me.
You're the watcher.
I'm the people watcher. But being bored does really force you to sit with your thoughts. And nobody wants to fucking do that, because then it's real. It's not just like this thing that you're like, oh, but I'm busy. Like, I'm not going to think about that thing. Or like, I'm gonna call up my friend to talk about that thing. And then just be validated and walk in circles about that thing. It's girl, just sit. Just sit
down for a little bit. There was another person who had brought up like if boredom is necessary also in like a relationship, and like talking about that, where the example that they used was like being that like in a hetero relationship, I guess, but like being the woman looking at your husband and like they're just on the couch watching like a sports game, and like that's your that's the vibe, and the woman's like, I want to go do something, like, because I'm bored and this is all my husband does. Okay. Like, that doesn't really exist anymore. Maybe it does for some people, but...
What do you mean it doesn't, like...
Like, I think they were saying, like, it doesn't exist anymore. Like, because there's so many other distractions that it's not as simple as those times where, like, TV was the only thing that could be the distraction.
It's like I'm next to him scrolling Pinterest or whatever.
It's like I get to distract myself too now.
Okay, got it.
I was thinking into my own terms of, like, being bored in a relationship.
Yeah.
And just thinking, like, yeah, I mean, that is necessary because... But I think boredom in a relationship looks different. Well, I guess... It depends. I don't know. It looks different for everybody. But, like, not that I'm bored in my relationship, but I think I'm craving the boredom from a relationship because I feel like we're just in a constant, like...
Doing
things. And, I mean, maybe... It also, I feel like there's different personality types where people do genuinely enjoy, like, being go with their partner. And, like, that's fine for the rest of the time.
But our point is you still need rest.
Yeah.
There still needs to be some sort of low energy days.
I literally woke up today and I was like, oh, how nice would it be to just sleep all day? And then I was like, I can't even pencil that in for the next, I don't even know how long. Like this
don't
weekend,
even think about it because the holidays are also coming in.
I know, and I just got like really sad. I was like, it can't really happen.
That's not true though. You're like, telling yourself it can't.
I genuinely want to have a day, but then we'll get into this in the glowing hour. But I was gonna say, like, I genuinely just want to have a day where, like, I just literally turn my phone off and put it in a drawer and, like, enjoy my
same. I kind of want to just be detached. I want to feel like what it felt like to live in, like, the 70s. I don't know. Just
literally, like, maybe just the 90s, but you were broke. You didn't have a fucking phone. Or even early 2000s.
I was thinking my parents, like, dating. I don't know why I was thinking that. It's like, you have to call me on my home phone and hope I'm fucking there.
Just come knock at the door, actually. Well,
you could be scared. Depending on how many dates we've been on. But, like, it would be so nice to do that.
Yeah.
And it's not impossible.
No.
It's not something I can, like, what? Do it.
The reason I was going to say that was, like, the amount of accidents I've been getting. And
I mean, have the phone on you, but off.
They're going to be like, I'm going to have to write down the information. Anyway.
No, have the phone with you, but off.
But that's the point. I don't want it on me. Like, I want to completely
then you're not driving. You're taking the fucking
bus,
whatever
the
everywhere.
Metro.
Yes.
All right. Actually, period. I should do that.
See? And I think you're overthinking it. It's possible. And you could even, if you said, I'm going to do it for 3 hours. For 3 hours. Easy. Okay, sorry, I'll make it hard. For 6 hours, 12 hours. You're like, goodbye, Logan.
Goodbye, everyone.
I will be back in 12 hours. See you later.
Dude, she would have a panic attack about where I'm at.
Maybe she needs that.
Maybe she needs to have a panic attack.
Not a literal panic attack. Hopefully not. But I think you could do it.
I think maybe I'll do a day like that with her. Mm-hmm. So we're both like, well, this is like fine. Like we can, be in life and survive.
Yeah.
And then
do it without her.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh my God, crazy me. Like I'm already thinking about like going to the movies by myself.
There you go.
No phone. Actually having to buy it with my cash
or a card.
Or my card. I can still use a credit card.
Yeah.
Or a debit card.
It's not that serious.
But I have to go and buy the ticket.
Yeah, my dad the other day.
Oh no! Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna look like a fucking psycho. I'm gonna buy because I have the A-list stubs number thing. Yeah. I'm just gonna print out the ticket that I screenshot.
Those were the days. Do you remember doing that?
Yeah,
that was so fun.
The maps.
MapQuest.
Anyway,
my dad the other day, he was like, maybe I'll go see a movie by myself, and I was like, oh, what's out? He's like, I don't know. I was just gonna go and see.
You're like, that concept is wild.
I was like, whoa, Dad, that's really bold of you. I was like, what if there's nothing you like? He's like, I don't know.
Just watch anything.
I'm like, oh my God. Tickets are too much right now to just go.
That's true.
Like $21, I need to like what
I need to know what's going on.
Right. I need to watch a trailer. Dad's just like, I'm going.
I guess when you got the cash.
I know, right? I guess when you kind of sit yourself up in that career.
Period.
You just go watch movies. But yeah, that's the thing too. We've talked about this. Our challenge for the year for me was supposed to go see a movie by myself, and you're supposed to go to the beach by yourself, which I haven't done my thing. I don't think you've done yours.
I don't think I've done my thing either.
Yeah. So
oh my god, it's almost the end of the fucking year, dude.
And we're almost at the end of the year. It's still hot, luckily for you.
Not for long.
So
it's like you dropping to the 60s next week.
You got some time.
I think
just morning. You don't gotta be there all day.
That's true.
You can just be there for an hour or two.
That's true. Maybe I'll do it on Friday or something. I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah. See, it's so like mindset shift, honestly, crazy. Like, it's just, we've talked about it, like how easy it is to just tell yourself a different story.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute.
That
could be the truth.
That's also right.
Yeah. Like, yeah, of course it's true when I'm saying it's hard and I can't.
Yeah.
But then when I shift it to this is good for me and it's easy, it's like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe it is easy. So much harder to do than say, but
that's true.
I believe in you. You can be bored.
This just brings up like yesterday I was at bowling, and at the bowling alley they play a bunch of music videos, and at first they were playing like Madonna and like a bunch of like 80s shit, and then they played, what's that song called, you Get What You give. I forgot the band's name, but I like forgot that I knew that like the music video to that song, and it's like based in a mall.
Yeah.
And like they're like a rock band and they're like being kind of chaotic at the mall, and like all these like teenagers or like young adults are like at the mall vibing and like dancing, and I'm like, we were just like, oh my god, you guys remember malls? Stop. And of course they still exist and people still go to them, but I just don't think that I feel like that's the epitome of like boredom for me, like
walking around the mall.
Like if I was bored or my mom and I were bored, it'd be like, let's go to the mall.
Yeah,
and
I feel
let's
like
go look at things, and like
yeah,
I genuinely feel like that's like where like creativity and like fashion, like kind of like, obviously like I was a kid and I was like shopping like TJ Maxx and shit, you know, but like
fashion for fashion.
Maxxinista. I was vibing. I was like literally learning about the things that I liked, and being out and like kind of sitting with my thoughts about these things instead of being told with you know what I mean?
Like someone on TikTok being like, you need this shirt.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, do I even like it?
Or like me being bored and being like, oh, I'm gonna make a collage out of this magazine that I have at home.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
those things are not like the same.
Yeah, and I guess even it's not about being bored for like an extended period of time, like all night or all weekend. No. It's like what you do with the boredom, I guess. So like for me, if I'm bored on a weekend, like I don't have plans and I don't feel like being like, oh, do you guys want to hang out or whatever, or I know my friends are busy, I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? I can thrift, I can go walk around a thrift store, I can go walk around Target. Like these are things I just do by myself. I'm like, I don't know, put music in and I'm gonna just walk around places.
Yeah.
I mean, like the mall, less so. I mean, I have, but usually I need something and then I'm like, all right, well, I'll walk around for another 30 minutes. Yeah. Or like going to a coffee shop, which low-key one of my least favorite things to do. Ooh, the podcast that we talked about, the male loneliness epidemic last week, he says like, if you're young, you should not be at home. Which, like, obviously with a grain of salt, obviously don't literally never be home. Yeah, he was like, I got so much clap back. He's like, there's so many TikToks of me saying it and then people like baking and like doing good shit at home. Yeah. He's like, it's not what I mean. I just mean like, if you're young, like don't not waste away. Also, this is not his words. I don't know what the fuck he said exactly, but like just be out. Like, why are you just sitting at home? It's like, if you're bored, walk around the mall. Maybe the love of your life is there. Go have dinner. Go to a movie. There's so many options. I mean, unless you live in like a
totally
sorry if you do.
I think that the message there is like, don't just be at home on Netflix or your phone,
right?
You know,
all the time.
Figure out something else to do if you're gonna be at home.
And I think having that list, which we were just talking about, having a list of things when you have time or you're bored, having a go-to list of things to do that aren't doom scrolling, Netflix, YouTube video. Those are my like it's my bad list of things. I will say like
YouTube, even though like not anymore, but I think like in the days of it being like popular, like when you would like watch makeup tutorials, right, or even that like inspired you, like it was inspiring, like you were bored and you're like, okay, I'm gonna watch this and just sit.
Now it's sometimes really pointless videos. It's like, is this brand legit? And then like they just try on a bunch of stuff in that brand, which like is entertaining.
But it's not inspiring.
I'm like, I don't even know this brand. I was never going to buy from that.
Why am I watching this?
Why am I watching? Literally. So.
But yeah, I think if you're anything like me lately, where if I do have a moment of boredom or like a moment even just to myself, to like, oh, this is like a self-care moment. I have no idea what I'm doing with my time. And then I end up doom scrolling because I'm like looking for something to do.
Girl.
Through like doom scrolling and like, oh, I'm gonna find the idea, and then I just end up scrolling for an hour and a half.
Well, and then the problem with that is you probably already saved like 5 or 6
absolutely.
things, and you're just not going back to those things because you're like, I forgot about them.
It's pointless
all the time, dude.
Yeah,
I think that's where hobbies also come in too. Like,
yeah, true.
But the point being, like, boredom is necessary. Like, it's okay to acknowledge, like, I'm feeling kind of bored this weekend and not necessarily do anything about it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to be like, I'm gonna go sit at a coffee shop and be kind of bored. Just, like, listen to music and look around.
Do nothing, yeah.
It's boredom, but it's fine.
I also feel like what we're saying is, like, boredom is necessary for the fact that it's the feeling that sparks the thing that you want to be doing.
Yeah.
Like, you need to feel the bored to feel an inspiration to come on. Mm-hmm. And without that, you're just doing distraction and you're just literally in flight or fight mode, like, of like trying to live life and like not taking the time for yourself. I think that we're saying is like boredom used to be such a prevalent thing in our lives that would then like propel us forward to be doing the things that we actually want to be doing and like loving life, you know? I think that was just like constant like bam, bam, bam of like shit.
I feel like it's just really avoiding the toxic parts of boredom, being the doom scroll, the mindless just like watching something while all like the multi thing, like scrolling while watching something, while
oh my God,
on the phone with a friend or some shit. Like, there's so many ways you can just too much.
Lately, I'm such a, is it the word heckler? Is that the word?
Heckler is like someone who like gives you shit, like heckler.
I'm such a heckler for like when people are watching a show with me or a movie and they're on their phone as well. I'm like, you're not even paying attention.
Oh, you're also a stickler then too.
I'm a stickler for that.
You're like, don't do that.
Yeah. Well, that's a heckler. No, like, don't
heckle
do that.
is like heckling, like kind of like teasing, heckling.
Oh, I do that too.
Okay.
But anyway, like, Logan's sister was just here like this last weekend and we were watching Practical Magic.
Oh my God, same. And I watched it this weekend.
Oh my God, it's lame.
Not that it's like literally October and it's a pretty common thing to watch.
But I haven't seen that movie in years, like literally years. And first of all, I was like, this has a lot of, I didn't like realize how much it talked about abuse. Well, like the man they fucking murder is abusive as fuck.
Right.
Literally choking
They're
Nicole
Kidman out. Yes. And then she,
it's just like the most toxic relationship. Like, I didn't realize. Like,
it was
as
beautiful
a child,
though. Not that, but like
no, the story afterwards. Yeah. But anyways, we were watching Practical Magic and we're just sitting here and Logan's like, oh no. Before we start the movie, Brittany just goes, but I don't want anyone to be telling me.
Who starts a movie time like that?
I don't know. She was like, I don't want anyone to tell me anything about me being on my phone. It's just how I watch TV. And we're like,
girl, that is not real.
I was just
Brittany,
like,
if you're listening, that's not real.
I didn't say anything though, but I was sitting there like, you're doing exactly the thing I hate that people do. And then when we sat to like actually watch it, they both were on their phones, and I was like, people just don't enjoy the thing that they're doing anymore.
Yeah.
It's like you have to do 100 other things.
Honestly, like, I'm so guilty of like playing Candy Crush while watching a movie or like scrolling Pinterest while watching a movie. Why? Because I can't. I just like, and then when I actually, like, if I'm eating, that's like the perfect task for me to be doing while watching something.
I love eating and watching things.
Because then it's like, I'm not really distracted.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah. It's like eating popcorn.
Yeah.
At a movie. It's fine.
Shift of mindset. And then as soon as I'm done eating, I'm like,
pick up the phone.
Literally. And then I'll realize it, and then I put the phone down, and then I'm like watching again, and I'm like, this is nice, and then I'm thinking about it too much, and I'm like, it's so nice that I'm not picking up my phone right now. Oh, this show's so good. Oh, like I'm like, shut up, bitch, just watch. Just
going. Yeah,
exactly.
No, for real. I did pick up my phone the other day, but it's because Logan and I started Halloween Town. It's October when we're filming this. Anyway, we started Halloween Town, the first one, and she started to fall asleep like 30 minutes, like just like at the like 30 minutes left of the movie. And so for a while I had watched it by myself. I think it was like 10 minutes or 15 minutes of it. And so when we were rewatching it on Monday night, like Logan was like awake, obviously. She was watching it, and I just like was on my phone, and she was like, "Can you get off your phone?" And I'm like, "I've already seen this part though."
Ate her up. So you fell asleep.
Well, I thought we were watching it together. I'm like, yeah, but I watched it last time we were watching it together. You fell asleep.
You said you were distracted too.
Sleeping and shit. Not like it was 11 p.m. But yeah,
that's a tough one. It's hard to not scroll, honestly. It's just we're so little overstimulated, and we're being overstimulated is the desire.
And that's what we're saying. Like overstimulation, you need fucking boredom.
Yeah.
You over there,
that is the medication.
You need boredom as your medication right now.
Prescribed RX
Dr. Samimel. So
be bored. What's your favorite thing to do when you're bored? What's that thing that sparks after you're bored? What do you do? Is it painting, scrapbooking, taking photos, walking around a mall? I don't know. Let us know. Give us some ideas, because we need some go-to options.
Go-to options for boredom.
I mean, it's also just training your brain. Like, the watching a movie thing is so real.
It's so real. You just have to, every time it's like you just have to train yourself. Put the phone down.
It's so hard, too, with our generation, because it's like, I would love to put my phone in another room when I'm doing something that I genuinely am like, you don't need to be on the phone. Mm-hmm. I would love to do that. But then the messages I get, I'm like, I would have missed those.
But you could wait to just
respond
to them. You did respond to me for
I know, and I did
10 hours.
I was good that day. I was like,
saying,
you know what? I can do it. Well, I didn't need to put it in a different room, I guess. I just needed to be in a really bad mood. I just needed to be fucking anti-phone. That's the vibe. Anti-phone to not care. That's sad. No, dude, I just need to
you just need to not do it.
Like, it's bad. Like, my cousin will text me and I'm like, I wonder what she's saying. Like, why can't I just not look? Well, sometimes I look so that I just know what it is, and then I'm like, I'll respond later.
Yeah, no, I do that for sure. But I need to get to the point where I'm like, I don't need to respond to you right now.
I don't need to know.
I don't need to know what's going on.
Like, you reached out to me because it was convenient for you. Is it convenient for me right now to read that?
You would have called me if otherwise.
If it was urgent. Sometimes they'd be sending urgent texts, though. No, they don't.
I send them, and then if, like, they don't get responded in, like, 5 minutes, I call. Or if it's, like, super urgent, I'll call immediately.
You said, what the
fuck? Yeah. Oh, I was going to bring up how, like, when we were kids, did you ever have your teacher tell you, like, or, like, talk about how, like, having, like, some kids, like, needed the TV on while they did their homework, even though they weren't watching it, like, they just needed noise.
Yeah.
Like, that was always such a thing for me. I was like, I don't understand how people do that, because I'll just want to watch the TV and not do my homework. But I can do, like, music or even, like, a video playing, like, not, like, a show. Like, it needs to be, like...
I mean, a show, I just feel like I'm getting left behind because I'm not fully watching it. Some people do, like, reruns. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Or, like, a cartoon. Actually, that's, like, old. You know?
That's lie. I used to, like, come home from school and watch, like, Gilmore Girls and do my homework because it was, like, soothing.
You didn't really need to know
I didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah. And that's probably where it started. Yeah. This is the end of it all right there. It was like, I need noise to do
at all times.
Nothing even.
I just need constant noise now.
I literally, like, music, like, going on a walk. Oh my god, you know what's the worst thing? When you fucking forget your AirPods and you're gonna go to, like, the mall and your whole intention was, I'm gonna listen to music,
I'm gonna have, like, my moment, and then you're like, now what?
No, I just have to fucking listen to the noise around me.
You have to listen to the music they play.
And then sometimes it's good and you're like
wait, are they playing my playlist?
So, wait a minute. No, that was literally me at the pottery studio. I was like, are they on to me? What's going on here? This is suspicious.
Yeah. Again, something sparked up and I'm like, what is that? Oh no. Have you heard of, like, the thing that's been going around about, like, I forget what they call it, but it's like doing walks with like no music, no nothing. They call it like,
there's a name for it.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called. If you know what it's called, leave it in the comments. But basically there's like a trend going around of like how to retrain like your mind from this like overstimulation is going on long walks with nothing, like no music. Obviously you can have your phone with you, but like no music, nothing to distract you. You're just walking and enjoying the walk and everything that you see around you.
See, that would be chill if it was like a pretty walk or like a hike.
But even like that's the boredom of it all.
I know, but I think for a soft start of something like that, go somewhere pretty at least.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm enjoying I'm literally enjoying it, right? Yeah. Versus like cars and literally today, some man honks at me and is waving like he's my fucking uncle, and I looked at him and I was like, I literally have no fucking idea who you are. And then he just like kept the drive, and I'm like,
you said that?
I said it, but like I doubt he heard me, or like,
right, you're just like
probably just made a really disgusting face because I'm like, I literally like, why?
It's so scary.
Why are you waving at me like you know me? Like, because then I think I know you, and that's why I look. Otherwise, I don't fucking look.
Yeah. Men are weird and gross.
Anyways, see, like enjoying something like that without the background music. That's why you gotta go somewhere pretty at first. And then it turns into just like absorbing that and having your thoughts about that.
That's true.
Versus distracting yourself with a song. You're like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm listening to So Sick by Neo right now.
Mood.
But anyways. How do y'all feel about boredom? Are we, way off base for what you're feeling for boredom?
Do you feel like it's necessary? Do you think it's like, I don't know, Logan's grandma always said, she had this quote.
I love that.
That was, if you're bored, you're boring.
Ooh, icy. That's an icy quote.
She ate everyone up. But I think like,
we were like, but in our modern, it's okay.
It's okay. I need to be bored. I need to be a little boring.
No, I get what she's saying, though.
I get what she's saying.
I think she would agree with us still.
She'd probably be
because we're saying use the boredom to spark the fun thing.
Like you need it.
She's not denying you don't need it.
No.
It's just if you are literally bored all the time, be exciting, do something cool.
Do something different.
That's fair, honestly.
Anyway, so let us know how you spend your boredom time. Do you even have any boredom? Are we sparking this thing where you feel like you're missing boredom in your life? Because I do. I feel that.
Yeah. I think we could all use a little more boredom in this
day and age.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Please go ahead and rate our podcast. Yes. Leave us a little cute review. Follow our socials. And yeah, we'll catch you guys on Glowing Hour. Thank you so much for listening. Oh, and share this with somebody who needs to be bored. Because we all know that one person.
Don't do that. Savage. You said, here you go, babe.
Here you go, baby. But yeah, we'll catch you guys in Glowing Hour.
Bye.